Okay, so like on Instagram, right? There's this guy who is like addiction recovery counselor. He's helping people recover from and alcohol and stuff like that, right? So then he mentioned something, something that was very interesting. He said, it's very hard to tell people that in order for them to be delivered from like and alcohol and stuff like that, to tell them that they just need to pray. You understand? Because some of these addicts pray. You understand? They pray and then their prayers don't get answered. Their mothers pray and then their prayers don't get answered. You understand? And I felt like that point was valid. Like to say like, no, you don't just pray. You understand? But also it's not valid on the basis like he's sort of like discouraging people to pray. Yeah, I understand. But then what happens when you pray and you don't get your prayers answered? Yeah, I understand. And I'm sure many of us have been through that stage where you pray for something and then you don't get it. You pray for a loved one to get healed and then they still die. Yeah, I understand. Then if you find this anger with God and stuff like that. So now the question now comes in as like, so what do you tell those people that prayed but still didn't get the result that they wanted? Yeah, I understand. What do you tell them? So for me, what I would tell them is like what I've always believed in, like seek first. You understand what I'm saying? So for me, it was never like pray and whatnot. Yeah, I understand. But for me, it was like seek the kingdom first, right? Seek His kingdom and all His righteousness. That's all. I understand, but it's hard because we live in the real world where people die and people have addiction and whatnot. So you can't necessarily tell people what to do and whatnot. But from my own understanding, right, all you have to do is just seek the kingdom and forget about the result. You understand? If like you find yourself do and seek the kingdom. You understand? Do and seek His kingdom. Matthew 6 verse 33. Seek the kingdom first, and then do your stuff, right? And then eventually, what will happen? Like if you continue and you persist, what's going to happen is that all these things is going to work through you and all these things are going to be removed. You understand? That's my own understanding, like especially when someone comes to me and then they're like, no, my prayer didn't work. I'm like, no, man, just seek the kingdom first. You understand? Seek His kingdom, seek His will. You understand? That's all. Sure.